Hi, my name is Evie Beardsell and welcome to my Unit H20 vlog. My role as a part of this module is costume. During week 1 we were given our roles. This meant that we could begin meeting as a team and deciding on our sub-roles within the project. As decided, my specific sub-role is in sizing and creating solutions for any issues that could arise to do with costume sizes and malfunctions. This week I had planned to have created a size list to help us ahead of time, so when things get busier we will already have this information prepared for us. I did manage to complete this using the help of our chart from the BTEC show and checking with each person that these are correct. As a team we also managed to collect any allergy information in relation to hair products, makeup and costume fabrics. This is so that we are prepared in advance to cater to each cast member's needs and think of solutions during the process instead of at the last minute to minimise stress. Due to my role not being incredibly important at the beginning of the process of creating the show, I aim to do at least one small job each week to make the process much easier towards the end when I will be needed more regularly. I made the decision to work on these small jobs each week because I would like to gain the best possible result at the end of this module. And I believe that to be helpful throughout the whole project, even when there isn't much to do, is important in showing that I am a hard worker and committed to the course. To begin week 2, I decided that I would like to focus on getting the costume briefs off each choreographer. On behalf of the whole team, Imogen sent out a message to the group chat letting them know that we would like these by the end of the week in order for us to start creating our designs in line with the choreographer's wishes. This is important as our roles are not as superior to the choreographers in this scenario. The pieces are theirs after all, so we need to abide to their view while still adding our own stylistic and creative flair. Due to my specific role in the show process being noticing issues and creating quick solutions to make sure that everybody feels comfortable by the time of the show to dance in their full potential in each costume, I don't have much to do at the beginning of the process. This means that in the meantime I would like to do everything possible to prepare for later and to help the other girls in the group who have different individual jobs also. Towards the end of the week, we had difficulty continuing with this job as we had not received the costume briefs off each choreographer. We managed to overcome this eventually after a conversation with the creative directors, after which they let the choreographers know that they needed to send these by the end of the week. Once these were received, this concluded week 2. During week 3, we received the costume briefs off each choreographer for the most part. However, there were still some we were waiting on. They were all sent to Imogen as she is our main spokesperson, as we are quite a big group and would like to avoid any confusion. We then created a group chat that she could send these to, as well as any other costume related things, to keep everything professional and in order. Once we received the costume briefs in the group chat, we began working on our designs and ideas, as well as deciding where the best places were for us to look for costumes while staying within our budget of £1,000 given to us by the producer and the creative directors. We decided mainly on Shein and Pretty Little Thing, as they are reasonably cheap websites where it will be realistic to buy 35 of the same item for a different price, and with Shein you can find pretty much anything you might possibly need. We did encounter the problem of not being able to use any of the major dancewear websites, which would have been ideal for our technique pieces costumes such as lyrical and jazz. However, we will have to make do while staying within the budget, as this is a problem any costume designers will face daily in the outside world. During week 4, we decided to focus solely on putting together designs and coming to decisions of what we would like each piece's costume to look like. This is difficult as we are a large group and everyone has different ideas. This meant regular meetings where we could share ideas as well as back and forth conversations with each choreographer to make sure we can stay in line with the choreographer's wishes while still adding our own creative flair. This was the hardest part of the process as our ideas often didn't match up and we would have various conversations to then end up back at the drawing board. I used my notebook to create sketches of the pieces of which we did have the brief for and drew out ideas of each piece using Shein and noting prices of each item down. During week 5, I decided to focus solely on finding anything I could that resembled the sketches we had created previously for costume on either Shein or Pretty Little Thing, and to start adding things to the basket. I also met with the choreographers of each piece to check that they were happy with our decisions and to allow time for any last minute changes of plan. This also gave us time to get the vision boards chased down off the choreographers who hadn't sent them, or create ideas for those who really didn't mind and wanted the creative decision to be up to us. This is specific to Scott's piece, who decided he was happy for us to do whatever we liked with a rough brief he gave us in conversation. During week 6, we made the collective decision, with the permission of our costume staff at college, Kia, to head into the costume cupboard and root for any items that we might need to use as part of costume, and look for anything that could possibly be of any help in our costumes for the show. This is incredibly important, as £1,000 may sound like a lot of money or more than enough. However, when you add up one item of clothing costing £4 bought for 35 people, then that's already £140 for one item in one costume. Using items from the costume cupboard as much as possible is going to save us so much money in the long run. Though this was a bit of a challenge to sort, we managed to get everything we went for and more. During week 7, we decided that it was ideally time to start getting things ordered so that they can come in time for the show. We created a table showing each piece and how many of each size top and bottoms we will need for them, as well as a PowerPoint stating the exact costume for each piece and how much this is going to cost, as well as the total. This helped us work everything out, and we added everything we needed to a Shein basket, and we found that the prices changed to do with shipping fees, etc. So we would have to do multiple separate orders to keep the price as close as the budget as possible. Once getting the go-ahead from our head of year, Michael, and the creative directors of the project, we went ahead and ordered this.